Howdy everyone and happy Friday. This is the last day that we explore customary units of measurement, and we're going to look at customary units of weight. Ounces, pounds, tons. These should be familiar to you when you go to the doctor's office to get a checkup, or if you weigh yourself at home, you'll be weighing yourself in terms of how many pounds and then how many ounces you weigh. Tons, very, very large things like elephants and airplanes are measured in tons. So if you have a scale at home, a kitchen scale or a bathroom scale, you could explore customary units of weight on your own to better understand them. For today, we're going to do a quick review, again, of converting back and forth between smaller and larger units of measurement, looking at how we can use fractions to compare those units of measurement, and work through a multi-step word problem. Let's get started. Let's take a quick look at your workbook page for today. Similarly to other workbook assignments from this week, at the top, you have a conversion table. Tells you that 1 pound is 16 ounces, 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. There are some conversion practice problems down here, and a reminder that when we convert to a smaller unit, we multiply, and when we convert to a larger unit, we divide. And then there's a fraction table that I'm going to walk us through here. Jojo from my class also did a great Flipgrid video in our first Flipgrid assignment explaining how to do this problem, so you can check that out. Essentially, we're comparing ounces to pounds in a fractional measurement. So the question in this table is, what fraction of a pound is 1 ounce? And we could draw a model for ourselves here. It's going to be broken into some small pieces. I'm going to start by sketching out a circle. So here's 1 pound. And 1 pound is made up of 16 ounces. So I'll split up my fourths, and then I also need to split up all of my eighths. So now I have 16. So there are 16 ounces in a pound. Sorry if these slices are not perfectly equal. And so then we can see that 1 ounce, right, each of these is 1 ounce. 1 ounce would be 1/16 of a pound. My suggestion for completing this table is write your fractions in terms of 16ths and then simplify. This is a simplified fraction for number 2. So 2 ounces would be 2/16 of a pound, and that's been simplified to 1/8. So likewise, 4 ounces would be 4/16 of a pound, and then you can simplify. So that is my suggestion for working through this fraction comparison table. I'm not going to review how to convert back and forth between larger and smaller units because we've already done a lot of practice with that this week, but I am going to walk through one of the more challenging multi-step word problems from your second page. So on page 278, number 12, which is not assigned to you today, gives you a problem where you're going to need to follow quite a few steps in order to answer all parts of the problem. So this question is about Melissa. She is measuring 132 ounces of rice into 1 pound containers. So she's dividing up that rice. How many containers that hold 1 pound will she need to hold all of the rice? And how many ounces of rice will she need to buy if she needs 10 pounds of rice? There are 2 questions in this problem. So the first one is about how many containers will Melissa need? Well, I know that she has 132 ounces of rice, and each container holds 1 pound. So I'm trying to figure out how many containers she needs. That's my first question. How many containers will she need? And then my second question is how many ounces of rice will she need to buy if she needs 10 pounds of rice? Let's work through these 2 questions. First, we need to figure out how many pounds are in 132 ounces because she's measuring out the rice in terms of pounds in the first part. Now, ounces is a smaller unit than pounds, so that means that we're moving to a larger unit, and that means we will need to divide, I'm going to label this part 1 of the problem, 132 ounces by 16 because there are 16 ounces in each pound. I'm not going to work through the long division steps, but there are 8 and 25 hundredths pounds in 132 ounces. So that means she would need she'd fill up 8 containers and then have a little bit of rice left if each container holds 1 pound of rice. So I'm going to need to bump this up to 9 containers in order to fit all of the rice. So my answer to question 1 is 9 containers. Just doing the conversion tells us how many containers she needs because each container holds 1 pound. So answering how many pounds are in 132 ounces tells us how many containers are needed. Let's take a look at this second problem. How many ounces of rice will she need to buy if she needs 10 pounds of rice? So she already has 132 ounces of rice. We need to compare that to 10 pounds. I think that the easiest thing to do there is to figure out how many ounces are in 10 pounds and then compare that to the number of ounces of rice that she already has. So 10 pounds, we're trying to figure out how many ounces that is. That means we're moving to a smaller unit of measurement, and we will multiply because there are 16 ounces in each pound. 160 ounces is 10 pounds. So 10 pounds of rice is 160 ounces. So the second question is, how many ounces of rice will she need to buy if she needs 10 pounds or 160 ounces of rice? She has 132 ounces, so we can simply subtract 132 from 160 and figure out that she needs, so 10 minus 2 is 8, 5 minus 3 is 2. She needs 28. She needs to buy 28 ounces of rice. And now I have answered both questions in this two-step word problem. I would suggest giving yourself lots of space for the word problems. Isolate individual questions and ask yourself, which conversion do I need to make here? Which one makes the most sense?